Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Caroline. We got married in June and now we're sailing around the Atlantic Ocean for the year. Come join us as we document our journey. In this episode, we leave Cape Verde for our Atlantic crossing to St. Lucia. We find new ways to stay cool in the tropics and also start fishing with some success, and are treated to some amazing sunsets.
So it's the morning of our day of departure at exactly 10:47 on Monday the 15th of November. Crew of Caris are leaving the island of Brava, Cape Verde. Next destination, St. Lucia. So it's day 2 of our Atlantic crossing. Why, may you ask, is there not any day 1 or run up towards this week? Well, that's because the SIM card refused, the SD card refused to write any of our videos, so we had hours of footage. Unfortunately, it's all lost. You'll just have to take our word for it. So, introducing you to Ciaran and Olivia, who are clearly joining us on this crossing. You would have seen lots of cool videos about them over the last day or 3, however, it wasn't to be. We are having tuna, fresh yellowfin tuna, for lunch. We caught 3, well, we landed 4 yesterday.
What do we got?
Right. Tuna. Can you bring the Yatton into the main cockpit this way? One fell off. We got 3 tuna on deck yesterday, and we had some amazing sushi cooked by Olivia. And this morning or this afternoon we're having poke bowls, tuna poke bowls. So yeah, should be good. The wind's quite light. We've got goose wing configuration out. We've shaken the reef out in the main, bimbling on around just over 5 knots, so it should be good.
Guess what we're having for dinner?
Guess what's for dinner? Tuna steak.
Tuna.
So Olivia has just cooked an amazing set of poke, which we're about to enjoy now. The wind's got up a bit, 15 knots, so the Genoa is feeling a lot better. It's been flogging for most of the day, and we've shaken out a reef in the main. We have 4 fishing rods out with tuna attached. So it's the evening of day 2, and Olivia has done an amazing tuna bake. Is it tuna bake? Tuna steak baked in the oven.
Tuna fillet with a red pesto and nutty crust.
So nice, it's amazing. It's after a brilliant lunch of poke, so we're being treated very well. There's quite a lot of rain clouds all around us, but we seem to be in the middle of them. Accidentally threaded the gap, so fortunately we haven't been hit yet. It's the morning of day 3, and we're just having a bit of brekkie. It was a pretty wet night last night. We got caught by several rainstorms, so the cockpit and we got pretty wet. We put the engine on around 2-3 a.m. and we just switched off at 8 because there was not enough wind. And now we're on a broad reach with the hydrovane going. Oh, is that my fishing rod? Probably a bit of sargassum weed. And we're on a nice broad reach with full sails. If it drops, we're going to put the cruising chute out. He's still going, isn't he? I think there's something there.
I found it and I can't remember.
So we're about to hit 4,000 miles. 4,000 miles travelled since Karen and I left Gosport, our home port, back in July. You won't be able to see it really. You have to wait. Come on. 3999. That's gonna be 4,000 very soon. Woo! Have a little celebration. Let's put some bubbles. 4,000 miles! Yeah! Woo! There it is, 4,000 miles.
Looks like we might be in for some rain, but we shall see. And it's raining. Way! Taking the opportunity to do some washing in the rain. Very economical of course. So Charles has hung a bucket from the boom to collect the rainwater because it seems to be dripping down that end of the boom. And then there's a bit of showering going on over here. Shower time!
Lovely, what's this?
Woo!
It's for charity.
Using the gap to bring the bucket in. Wow, that filled up super quickly. Hey. Shower time! Sorry. No, you're fine. It's going to splash everywhere. That is so refreshing. It's really tipping it down now.
So we've all had great showers with the wind and the rain. Now Kieran's doing a bit of washing. Very good admin. Using the rainwater we collected off the sail. It's amazing how much water came off the sail, which is so good. All the fishing rods out. We've got 4 lures in the water, one really close because I like watching it in the water. If I were a fish, I'd grab it.
Wet again.
Wet again. So it's the third night and it is 2:30 in the morning. We just had a little squall come through, which Charles and Ciaran dealt with. Luckily it was mostly rain. At the moment we've got the full Genoa out and I think we've got 2 reefs in the main. We're on a beam reach going around the 5 knot mark, maybe a little bit more, very civilised, and hoping that we don't see any more squalls tonight and that we just meander on at this pace until it gets light.
What's it? The day 4. Day 4 on our Atlantic crossing. Again, we've had quite a rainy morning, but we are now, and we have been sailing all night, which is nice because they've got some motoring days coming up on the forecast. We've got full sails out. It's just about coping with the swell. It's not a huge wind, so sometimes it backs when the mast rolls, when the boat rolls. Apart from that, life's good.
Almost caught a fish.
Almost caught a fish twice, but we caught an actual flying fish this morning, so a baby one.
Wind's died, so we're motoring along, rocking around a bit. Over there looks nice and sunny. Over here looks somewhat ominous, so we shall see. But if it does rain, hopefully it brings some wind. Fingers crossed. Bit of reading going on. Okay, so we've got some dark clouds on the horizon, kind of surrounding us on one side. Have a cheeky look at the radar. There. Big old rain cloud there. 2 miles wide, we reckon?
Yeah, at least. Good morning. It's the morning of day 5. We're just having a spot of breakfast. We have a big job today to try and catch some fish because the other boats we've been messaging and keeping in touch with who are 250 miles ahead of us. We can't win the race, the sailing race, but we can win the fishing competition. And they've caught a couple of dorado and a yellowfin tuna. We've caught no dorado, but 3 yellowfin tuna. So, or we're calling it 3 or 4. So we want to try and catch another one. Kara's having some granola. Liv and I are having some toast. The wind is forecast to drop from this afternoon around 2 p.m. So we're going to have to motor. I think we're going to have to motor for around 30 hours. So we've conserved fuel, conserved diesel enough to do that, and then hopefully we'll be into the trade winds. So it's the afternoon of day 5, 15, 16, 17, yeah, afternoon of day 5, and we feel like a bit of morale. We've got the engine on because we've lost the wind. We had the radar on last night and we avoided some big storm systems, but now we've got some dark chalky to crack into. Before we do that, Olivia and Ciaran are doing their on the hour, every hour workout. Obviously Caroline and I are doing that as well, but
Ours involves eating chocolate.
it's off camera though, so you can't even see it. We now have 8 hooks in the water. An outrigger there, one right in the middle on a very short leash with 4 hooks on them, and then 2 on the cleats with single hooks. So it's 5 lines in the water. We've not caught anything there. This will be the YouTube thumbnail. Doors out of the way! You're not done yet. This is Liv Fit's working out program. So Liv, what's the fitness regime on the boat? Sounds like a home video. So tell me.
Fitness regime is just started, 5 days in, which is good. Try and get some sort of movement in so that we don't all
Get too big.
crank up. And use the boat. There's always equipment around, just find it.
So Olivia, by profession, is a personal trainer, and she kept us fit and active throughout our crossing. So we're waiting for the wind to come back and we're motoring. And to kill a bit of time, we're playing, what's the game?
Categories.
Categories. And Liv just smashed her category, 11 tennis players. So you get to go again, Liv. What's your...
I can name 8 chocolate bars. Here we go.
Difficile.
This is my sort of category.
Is this specifically chocolate? It could be like sweets and stuff. Was it
Chocolate bars, she said.
I can name 9.
10?
22.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
She's got a big old sweet tooth.
Mars bar, Twix, Milky Way, Pick 12, Dream, Flake, Teasers, Minstrels, randoms.
You're so annoying, Doris.
Randoms, Aero, Obvio, just one more chocolate.
Go on.
Galaxy.
Oh,
Yes.
Hey.
Charles, what have you got there?
Sun got better.
So we've got a bit of a glow stick attached to the base of the hook. I'm going to put him in the skirt of the lure. I'm not sure if you can see that. So at night, he's going to look tasty and delicious. You get a toothy critter. Got some wire, some 49 strands sharpened with wire.
Nice.
And then
What are we going to catch?
a buku big rock on.
Huge sharks only.
So it's early morning on day 6 and we're in a bit of weather here. Fortunately it was a bit too big to dodge, so we've brought the whole main down and we've got a scrap of Gennaro out. We're trying to slow ourselves down so that the rain can overtake us, but it's happening quite slowly. Only just now have we managed to get down below 5 knots before we were whizzing along at +7. At least the rain flattens the sea somewhat, although it is still a bit rolly as we've got no main up.
We got to fish. Oh my goodness. Wow.
What is that, like a jack or something? A trevally?
Who knows? He's a good looking fish though. He looks quite edible, doesn't he?
Yeah, I wonder how long he's been on that for.
Look at this.
Where's Nick Leatherman? I think they're all out there, aren't they?
They've got the same mouth, similar eyes.
It's not the best. It is the afternoon of day 6. Day 6? 15th?
Yeah, day 6.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, afternoon of day 6. We've got some fishies today, which Caroline has filleted very well. We think they're amberjacks, and there's 3 of them, and some of them were on the line for quite a while, we think, because they were quite tired when they came in. Kieran's been doing well. Made a little den today, haven't you? Made a little den.
Yes.
Tell us about your den, Ciaran.
Talk to us through your den.
Pure coziness.
Pure coziness. Very good. Den's down there. Poor Ciaran. Now we've got the sails goose winged with a little bit of swell across us, causing a bit of rolling, but we're just about on track. Evening of day 6. We're just rocking out to some old school tunes. We've got James Blunt's greatest album, whilst Olivia's cooking up a storm. We caught some amberjack. How many? 3 amberjack today, which is good. So the fishing rods are back in. Enjoyable day today. We got caught in a rainstorm this morning, but once that passed, it's been pretty easy. Although, as you can see, we've lost the wind for tonight. So we've had to drop all our sails, and so it's a bit rocky as a consequence. That said, tomorrow morning, the trade wind's re-established for at least the next week. So hopefully tomorrow we're gonna put the sails back up, and that'll be us for a good few days, if not hopefully the rest of the journey. Going downstairs, we're gonna see what Olivia has got. This is Kieran's den. What Olivia's got rustled up for us.
Hello.
What have we got here, Liv?
We have got some big squash with some nice
Simply
couscous as well.
Couscous and
A
squash.
little bit of harissa.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Very nice sunset.
Sailing to a brave new world.
I know. Thank you, Radio 4.
provision.
Because you don't know how long you're going to be.
Big one.
Got a canned meat. Yeah, when they went to the Pacific, they like Galapagos Islands. They take all the turtles, didn't they? They just stack them off in the villages. They took like 50 turtles. You got fresh meat for weeks. So we're just enjoying a very nice sunset after Olivia cooked us a very nice supper. And we're all very happy to see this. It's hard to capture just how bright and how deep the oranges are, but take our word for it, but it's extremely nice.
Look at the reds on the right.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, pretty.
Purple. Look, you go for it.
Yeah.
We're going to do some legs of hot dogs. Legs of hot dogs. Liv, what's your submission for legs of hot dogs? Defo hot dogs. Caroline? That's some long, very long hot dogs.
They've got a bit battered in the can.
You said bruised hot dogs.
Morning rigging check. Just gonna check everything's still tight and nice. Check out the mast. There she is.
What are you up to?
Bit of washing, bit of laundry. You know, gotta keep clean.
So it's the 7th day, the morning of the 7th. We woke up and it was scorching hot, so we put the bimini on, which has given some respite to get us on water. And we've come up with an ingenious bathing system by way of buckets. So Liv's just having a little wallow. Jules doesn't fit in the bucket, so he's
going back to his den.
He's going to having a cockpit wallow. Karen is having a little read. And I'm joining Liv a business wallow. A business wallow. How you doing?
Delightful.
It's actually delightful. Unfortunately, the weather's not playing ball, so we're motor sailing with the Janur and we've put the main down. It's a real pain actually, but it's about 1,000,000 degrees, so this is providing some much needed respite. Oh, this is looking nice.
I need a little opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bones in the dogs in the night. Far away, my well is blue. What's a week? I don't mind this stuff. You know I gotta go. Be a long lost child.
Come on, we need 12 knots.
A man walks down, says, "Why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention. All my nights are so long. Where's my wife?"
Here we are raising the cruising chute, or the asymmetric spinner.
Just lifted the cruising chute. Wind's coming from behind us, but a light wind. Beautiful CRDC asymmetric spinnaker. Saving us some engine hours. Moving along nicely.
Thank you, yeah. As Ciaran said, we had enough of motoring, mainly because we're running out of fuel. Well, we've got half a tank left, but we're not halfway across yet, so we kind of want to have ample reserve if we get caught with no wind. whereas it's just about sailable with the current wind speeds. We've got about 7 to 9 knots, sometimes 10, which is fine for this. One thing to note is we're not flying it with the main up, which I think is a real big no-no, because the main blankets the asymmetric when you need to furl it, but we just simply don't have the wind to be able to fly the main and the cruising chute. The cruising chute will get blanketed by the main will flog. So we're taking a risk. We would never do this at night, but given there's 4 of us on deck to keep very close eyes out on the wind, I'm confident, or I'm happy to make that call and just be very, very militant about dropping it at the first sign of wind speed getting up, because as you said, we don't have the main as a tool to help douse this or down it. But Liv, if the wind comes up, you'll obviously take the sheet, just let it go. It'll be trailing forward in the water, but it'll allow one side of the cruising chute to collapse completely, and we can get the sock to douse it. This one. So we've had the cruising chute out for about half an hour. All's well. We're not going particularly quickly, but we've just been talking. We agree that it's probably one of the nicer sails we've had so far. Just not having the engine on and just gliding across the water with not very much wind, but an acceptable speed. Got Liv on the helm. I'm seeing doing very well. It's on autopilot. yeah, really good. And we're doing about 6 knots, aren't we? With 11 knots of wind.
With the 7 knots a moment ago.
Very good. With the
8.
Got up to 8. Nice. We then put up the main. It's been a fantastic hour or two. We've had the drone out and got some really good footage of the boat, and we managed to retrieve it, or Ciaran managed to catch it, which is always quite a nerve-wracking time. We've got we have 5 lures out, one right in front of us, that's just for fun really, it looks quite good, and then 2 on the rear cleats, one on the starboard, one on the port. They're just little 5-6 inch lures with a big hook on big leader going back to thick elastic. And then the 2 fishing rods have got like a daisy chain of lures, one out quite far, the other out just behind the cleated ones. So we've got 4-5 lines in the water. Keep pulling. Yeah. There's Ciaran. We're enjoying some suds after a very nice afternoon on the cruising chute. The wind got up to 13 knots and we decided to drop it, and I think it was the right decision because it's been around 13 knots, maybe 14, and it's going to build hopefully tonight. So we reached early, doused early, and much better for it. So it's another warm day today, so we are having more paddling pool time. Pool party! How many litres are in here? 30 litres. We've got 60 kilograms of water in the cup. That's alright. It's another person, isn't it? A little person. We've got Liv coming in, getting her bum in. Oh, it's so big. There's so much water coming out. Nice. So it's the morning of day 8. We've been at sea a week now. 7 days. No, a week. No, 7 days. Yeah.
7 days from 11. Yeah.
So good.
Bang on.
And we're having another pool party, and more paddling pools. It's about 1 billion degrees again. Except today we've got a bit more wind. 14 knots. and we're doing around 6 to 7 knots, surfing down the waves just over 7, but normally around 6ish, which is all very good. Got Dor sunning herself up there. Ching ching. We have faced the radio.
Hold on, get it right in.
Sliding around.
Okay, good.
Oh!
You gotta get up now.
Stop it.
I turn around.
You're so good. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, now you can tip down now. That's a little mini
Waterfall.
Trust it. Tip. Get back. So good. Alright, Moles, you're in for the backpack. So last night we made some iced coffees in a cafetiere and we froze them. And now we're enjoying the fruits of our labour. Spilt most of mine down my top. So, this morning or this afternoon, we are cooking fajitas. So there's some peppers fried up there. This is the amberjack in fajita sauce. There's some onions and some sriracha with my little secret sauce, my fancy sauce, which is really just sriracha and mayo mixed together. But this is going to be a nice lunch, hopefully. It's very warm in here, as you can imagine. It's got the fan going. Ooh. Let's clean that screen. It is the evening of day 8. We've been at sea for just over a week, and we've covered, how many miles we covered, Cara? 900 and...
I can't remember now.
900 and something.
44.
940.
No.
Just under 1,000 miles. Team are all good today.
935.
We've been treated to a lovely sunset. Although, as you can probably hear, we had to stick the engine on this afternoon because there wasn't quite enough wind and the swell was causing the sails to flog quite aggressively, which was a bit tedious. But hopefully tonight and tomorrow we'll get a bit more wind.
So, woke up this morning to a bit of a clattering up here, thinking, what are the boys up to? What on earth are they up to? What they're up to is catching more fishies.
Fish? Just.
I was like, Dawson!
Nice, well done. Day 9. How are we feeling?
Good. 51st.
Great shot with the sun behind you. This is excellent filming. Doors, how do we sleep?
Hello.
I've just gone down for a nap. An early morning nap. And
Go back to
fishies
your nap
came
now?
in. No, I'm too excited now. Too excited.
The adrenaline pumping.
The adrenaline is pumping. There's still more fish to come. Who knows what the day holds?
Thank you, Liv. Some big old patches of segosa weed, and it would appear the amberjack like this stuff because we keep catching them. What's that, Charles? Just pull one in. As I said. Whoa.
They just literally put it in and...
Doors Moors is doing some filleting.
We've had amberjack madness. Ciaran is just reeling in what looks to be another amberjack, eh, Ciaran?
How many's that today?
Oh, it's probably 6. No big tuna or mahi, but oh, it's a decent sized fish. Oh, it's a decent sized one. Well done, Moors.
Right.
Congratulations. We've got Liv on her Patagucci hat. Dorsmore's been catching some amberjack. We've caught about 6. Caro is up at the front, having a little read using the shade of the mainsail. Sails are flogging a little bit, but we're 14 knots and going around 6 knots. And I'm wallowing in my favourite chair, favourite spot in the house. Very cheap seats. So it's a good morning. In the next episode, we continue to have some success with fishing. However, we do hilariously lose a couple of fish. We enjoy a lot more sunsets as a crew. We also find new ways to entertain ourselves. We have to go up the mast when our spinnaker shackle breaks, and we finally arrive successfully in St. Lucia.